Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. I started playing around with this stark contrast 3. This is from House Whimsy, and these turned out okay, but like this one, my marker, you know, when it kind of bleeds and a whole blob comes out, so they weren't exactly the way I wanted them to be. So what I did, I kind of forgot about this when I was working on these. If you use matte medium or Mod Podge or something to kind of seal it, and then that way, if you have a mistake, if you notice like right away, you can't just let it sit there obviously, but if you make a mistake, you can quickly wipe it off. So that's what I did with this one. You can probably see the reflection, the shine there, because I have that layer of Mod Podge on these. So I am going to try again, but some of these did, like I really like this one a lot. Just this one I was disappointed in because it all came out in a blob, so I had to go over top of the yellow. And this one I tried to use purple and it just didn't show up, so I did yellow over top of it. So just kind of learning as I go here. So let's play around a little bit more with these ladies. If anyone has a good marker that you like for doodling, please let me know in the comments, because I like these, but they do kind of bleed sometimes, and I definitely have got to remember to put that layer down so that if they do bleed, I can wipe it off quickly, but it just takes a while to get them going too. I'm thinking maybe some different type of marker, not the paint marker. So I'm just going to play around a little bit here and do some doodling on their hair. These are just so fun to play with. So I've got the links for all of the digitals that I'm using, as always, in my video description. So I'm going to play some music while I just do a little bit of doodling I'm going to show. I am going to try metallic markers also. And then we will meet back up and put these together, figure out which backgrounds we want to use, and make some tags.
1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper that sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer. Night breezes seem to whisper
Okay, so doing the little circles, it's probably my favorite because it's really easy to do and you know it's going to turn out well, and I think it looks super cute. So I did that. Here's another one with green. Did one with white, yellow, pink and yellow, green and a yellow. I think this might be one of my favorites. And then this red. All right, so I'm gonna make a few different ones here using different backgrounds of the Masterboard backgrounds that I've done, and just to kind of play around here and also show how vastly different they look depending on the colors that you use. And you know, obviously that makes a huge difference. So let's just play and see what we come up with. So I'm going to move these aside and let's look at my papers that I have to play with. So these are some goodies that I got from Susie, who is at Mary Not Martha. She has an Etsy shop. I will link that Etsy shop. She's got some fabulous appliques and fabrics and things in her shop. So she sent me a bunch of these. We did kind of like an embossed paper exchange kind of thing. So I've got some of these to play with. And I've actually pulled some out here. And I just did some tea-dyed papers. So I've got some tea bags. I don't know. I just kind of grabbed them. Now, I just opened them up and then I always take this little edge off. Because if you glue it down, that edge is very defined, and I like it to just sort of blend a little bit more. And I don't know what I would do with these. Maybe we could use some on the plain ones. Okay, before I do this, let me finish looking through these. See, this is why I get so sidetracked. All right, let me fold this so I can kind of unbend it here. Now this is just a piece of, I don't know what that, like a rice paper, homemade paper. And it has some leaves and botanicals in it. So I just glued that down to a piece of craft cardstock. That's all I did here. One of my master boards with just book pages. This one is book pages with a little bit of green sprayed. And then this one with some purple. This one I did a bunch of painting and things on. And then there's this one that I did all kinds of stuff with, painting and bubble wrap, sprays, and stamping. I did it all on this one. Okay, so I'm going to cut some of these for tags. And we'll just play around a little bit, but let's try. I'm going to take little pieces of tea bags and go around and see what it would look like as her hair. So I'm just cutting strips of my tea bag and then I'm going to glue them on. And then for the top of her hair, I'm going to get something to kind of make a little spiral. So let's finish this up, and I'll use a paintbrush, just anything just to kind of make that spiral shape. Twist it around there, and then I'm just going to glue it. Press them down onto her hair. And then another thing I want to do is just go over these embossed papers with my ink pads. And I like to layer up different colors of ink. So you can kind of see here, I'm going to show the different colors, and it really doesn't even matter what colors you're using. Just layer up those different neutrals and browns and stuff. And then since I have black in my focal points, I did use a little bit of the black soot. And now since that dried a little bit, I just want to go over the top of this with a little bit of Mod Podge just to make sure those are glued down. And then I had the idea, well, what if I just sprinkle a little bit of mica powder on there? So of course we've got to try that too. So this looks kind of cool. I like this. I might even end up doing a couple more of these. I guess it depends on how much time I have. And then I'm going to just go ahead and cut some of these masterboards up into tags. So I'm just kind of roughly getting an idea of how large they should be. And I'm thinking I like the green ones on the colors that are in the background here. And then I'm just going to play around with some other things. I'm going to bring in some of this lace to go behind my paper dolls. We can use that for some of them. And I'm just using glue stick. This is just to kind of hold it down because I am going to go around these with my sewing machine. Okay, so I have these 3 shorter ones. So I put a little bit of this polka dot lace in the background. So I've got those. And then the longer ones, I didn't put any of the lace. I thought I want to try different things here. So I've got 3 of these. And I used a little bit of textured paper. You guys, I've got my texture packs in my shop. I have a whole bunch of them because I just bought a whole bunch of stuff and thought I'll make some packages up. I think next I'm going to put some grommets in these, and then I think I'll send some out in Happy Mail. So I'm not going to put a whole bunch of fuzzy yarn and stuff because I want to try to keep it flat so that it's not sent as a package. You guys know when you're sending mail, if it has a big bulge in it, then you're bumped up immediately to sending a package. So I want to try to keep these flat. And then if you kind of twist them together, it makes it easier to poke them through here sometimes. Let's do some of the metallic ones now. Let's see. We've got those guys. Let's see. What did I do? 3 of each. Okay, let's cut them into tags first. So I fussy cut some more of my dolls out. So I have them, and now I have my tag backgrounds. And I'm just going to play around with these embossed papers and some other goodies. We'll just layer them up with my paper dolls and see what we come up with. Okay guys, so let's take a look at these. Now I didn't use this one, but this is the one that I put the tea bag on her hair and I put some mica powder on. So we'll use her in the next video. So I've got some just metallics that I kept all tonal here, like neutral colors. I really like the way these turned out. So here I'm using some flowers and this lace, and also the paper, the embossed paper. It's all from Susie Oberman, who has the shop Mary Not Martha. Again, I'll put her link in the video description. We can see what these all turned out like. And I did put a couple of layers. I wanted these to kind of pop out, so I've got a couple of layers to add borders around those. And then these ones, we have the shorter tags that I showed these already, I guess. But just to kind of see how different they look, you know, if you do colors or not colors. So this is it, guys. Hope I inspired you to join me and do some doodling and having some fun making some masterboards to do your tags.